What's good, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I hope that everybody is staying warm on this cold October day. Listen, Wendy Osefo, baby, she is fighting back, okay? She says that she accuses the police of an illegal arrest and she demands that all of the fraud charges be dropped. Let's go ahead and get into this article. So, the Real Housewives of Potomac star Wendy Osefo is claiming that she is a victim of an illegal arrest as she fights her fraud charges. On October 17th, Osefo's lawyer filed court docs as a part of her criminal case in Maryland. The reality star demanded all charges be dismissed due to alleged defects in the charging document. In addition, Osefo, who's 41, demanded that all evidence be suppressed because of an unlawful search or seizure. The Bravo star also has asked for all wire and verbal communications to be suppressed because of an unlawful interception. In the filing, Osefo's lawyer claimed that his client was illegally arrested. The reality star's counsel said, quote, all admissions, statements, or confessions should not be allowed as evidence because they were unlawfully obtained, end quote. The reality star's legal team told Us Weekly that the motions that were filed by our legal team are standard motions that are filed in every criminal case in Maryland. These motions are intended to prompt prosecutors to produce evidence pursuant to the Maryland rules. It is routine to file these motions at the outset of every case to preserve evidence and assert our client's rights, though not every component is applicable to every case. Osefo and her husband Eddie were arrested in Westminster, Maryland on October 9th on fraud charges. Us Weekly previously reported both were released from jail after posting a $50,000 bond. The arrest came after a grand jury indicted the couple on charges of insurance fraud, conspiracy fraud, and making a false statement to a police officer. Wendy also asked that the trial of the co-defendants be severed from the trial of the defendant. Ooh, she's pulling a Phaedra and Apollo. Eddie was hit with charges over the same allegations. In a separate filing, Wendy's lawyer demanded that the prosecutors turn over any alleged evidence that they possess. She demanded a list of all witnesses the prosecutors plan to call, any polygraph results of witnesses questioned by law enforcement. Wendy also wanted to know if the prosecutors had any confidential informants who worked on the investigation and asked for copies of all official police reports. Eddie does not have a lawyer listed in his case as of yet. In the court documents, prosecutors claim that Wendy and Eddie reported on a burglary at their home in April of 2024. The couple claimed their home had been ransacked during their vacation to Jamaica and various expensive items had been stolen. The police noted that Wendy and Eddie's security cameras did not catch any motion on the night in question. The prosecutors claimed that the couple made misleading statements to insurance companies and reported certain items stolen that they still had possession of or had returned before the alleged burglary. The police executed a warrant and reportedly found at least 15 items at Wendy and Eddie's home that they had claimed to be stolen during the burglary. The docs claimed the reality stars were burdened by substantial debt. It says Dr. Wendy and her husband Edward Osefo are back home safely with their family and in good spirits. They are grateful for the outpouring of concern and support from their friends, fans, and colleagues. The Osefos, alongside of their legal team, look forward to their day in court. At this time, they respectfully ask for privacy as they focus on their family and the legal process ahead. Wow. So I'm surprised that Eddie doesn't have a lawyer just yet, or maybe he's representing himself because, he is a lawyer. But she's separating herself from Eddie. I don't know if that is, I know it's a strategic move, but I don't know if that's the smartest way to go. Wendy is like, listen, I'm not going to jail. She said that she was illegally arrested. She says that the email specifically, I know that's one of the things that supposedly was in evidence. The email that, where Eddie wrote, can you find, additional items, luxury items such as the Chanel shoes, in order to hit the maximum amount for the insurance claim? So maybe that's part of the reason why she's separating herself from Eddie, because honestly, that was not a smart move. Like I said, I don't know if he was high on his own supply or not, because that's her tagline for the Real Housewives of Potomac this season. She says she puts the high in higher education. However, I do think that the place that she lives in the county that she's going to have a judge or a magistrate, it's going to be a difficult process. I mean, she's definitely in for a fight. You know, um, she is citing illegal arrest. Well, the good thing is she knows the law, and her attorney also says that she was illegally arrested. So I'm really interested to see how this case develops. There's other rumblings about her possibly having a side deal with Bravo in regards to her own show. I know that TMZ had caught up with Andy and asked him specifically about the situation. And, despite him saying that, he was surprised and he always, he liked Wendy, that she always led with her education, he also said that she had her own thing going on. So I don't know if that is going to, um, you know, come to fruition, that she's going to have her own, not a spinoff, but like an investigative kind of show where they're going to go behind the scenes. They're going to have cameras go through Wendy throughout this court process. I mean, who knows? That might be another reason why she separates from Eddie. I do hope that if they do go to jail, that the judge staggers the sentence, like they did with Teresa's family, so that one parent can go and serve their time, and then another parent can go and serve their time, so that they're not both gone at the same time, because they have small children and their kids need them. I'm not sure if they're going to be deported. Like I said, all of this is a mess. But if there were illegal things that occurred in regards to the arrest, I'm not sure if that's going to be enough to drop all of the fraud charges, since there's so many. It's not like just it's like one or two. You know what I mean? There's 16 counts between them. So on one hand, I understand what Wendy is saying, that she wants her separate because it's easier to fight, you know, to separately. And so her lawyer doesn't have to kind of dig through everything. But on the other hand, it's just kind of like, you know, I mean, they're a married couple. So we will see how this all plays out. I don't know. I don't know if they're gonna be able to get out of this one, because, like I said, the trial, or the evidence, I should say, right? The investigation, they went all the way back to like the stores that they returned their items to Dior, and they have the receipts all the way back from like 2023, and for Wendy and Eddie to say that those were part of the alleged items stolen, that's not a good look. The jewelry that they said was stolen and she's caught wearing on the red carpet again, it's like, I don't know what Wendy was thinking, um, or what either of them were thinking in regards to trying to pull this off when they're so heavily, photographed, and there's cameras around them all the time, and they're such public figures. It's just like, housewives are watched by like superstars like Rihanna. You know what I mean? Like Beyonce. Do you guys remember when she put in her song that she was a black Bill Gates in the making? That came directly from Karen Huger back when, her husband Ray was having his own tax problems. But I think that was like season 1 of Real Housewives of Potomac. Like, they are a huge part of pop culture. So the last thing that you want to do is, what I mean, put an unnecessary target on your back. I mean, well, there's already a target on your back, but, and you're already under a microscope. But the last thing that you want to do in a magnifying glass, the last thing you want to do is try to pull something like this, say that somebody ransacked your home when you've taken things back to the store and you're, wearing the alleged stolen jewelry on red carpets and things like that. I mean, it's one thing for, the internet sleuths to, find and be like, oh my gosh, what's going on? But it's a whole other thing when you're dealing with insurance companies and legal paperwork. Because, insurance companies, they do not be wanting to pay you a dime for anything. But anyway, you guys, let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Please be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. And I will talk with you in the next one. Take care, Aces. Bye.